from Kentucky is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I yield to the gentleman from New Jersey, Mr. Smith, for 4 minutes.
The gentleman from New Jersey is recognized for 4 minutes.
Thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, by executive order, President Biden reversed the Protecting Life and Global Health Assistance Policy, which was a reiteration and expansion of President Ronald Reagan's Mexico City policy. Announced by Ronald Reagan at a UN conference on population growth in Mexico City in 1984, hence its name, the policy was designed to ensure that U.S. taxpayer money was not funneled to foreign non-governmental organizations that perform or promote abortion. My amendment, which was not made in order, would have inserted new text that reinstates the Mexico City policy, which was rendered inoperative by the president, and it also would have taken out new language that says that no president in the future can promulgate any iteration of the Mexico City policy. The Mexico City policy established pro-life safeguards, benign, humane conditions on global health assistance. For years, foreign non-governmental organizations have been empowered by taxpayer funds, and let's not forget, this is grant money to weaken, undermine, or reverse pro-life laws in other nations, especially in Africa, and to destroy the precious lives of unborn children. The Mexico City policy mitigates U.S. taxpayer complicity in global abortion and underscores our deep commitment to protecting the weakest and most vulnerable. According to a recent Marist poll, 77% of Americans are opposed to using tax monies to pay for abortions in other countries. Only 19% support it. The Marist poll found that 55% of Democrats, 85% of independents, and 95% of Republicans were against using taxpayer funds to pay for abortion in other countries. U.S. foreign assistance, Mr. Speaker, and other foreign entities that we fund with billions of dollars of grant money should consistently affirm, care for, and tangibly assist women and all children including unborn babies, regardless of their age or condition of dependency. Second, Mr. Speaker, since 1973, the Helms Amendment has prohibited using taxpayer funds to directly pay for abortions in other countries. Helms is the Hyde Amendment for the rest of the world. The bill before us today, however, completely reverses the Helms Amendment. I had offered at Rules a second amendment that would have reinstated Helms. It was not made in order. Taxpayers should not be forced to pay for child dismemberment, including severing arms and legs and actual decapitation of the baby with sharp knives, or deadly poisons or drugs like RU-46, which starves the baby to death. Children alive but not yet born who are killed by abortion after 20 weeks or later experience excruciating suffering and pain. And until they're rendered unconscious or dead by these hideous procedures, the baby feels the pain of every cut. Years ago, Senator Biden said, and he wrote to constituents, that opposition to abortion funding would, quote, protect women and her unborn child. He said, those of us who are opposed to abortion, this is Joe Biden, should not be compelled to pay for them. Finally, I had asked for support for the amendment on the UN Population Fund because, as my good friend and colleague Hal Rogers had said, this legislation weakens the Kempf-Kasten language significantly. And I would just point out to my colleagues, because I offered the first amendment on this floor back in 1984 on the complicity of the UN Population Fund in forced abortion and forced sterilization in China. For over 4 decades, the UN Population Fund has vigorously supported, funded, defended, promoted, even celebrated the Chinese Communist Party's coercive population control program. I met with the head of the Chinese program, Peng Peiyong, back in 1991 in Beijing. Almost a 3-hour meeting.
Okay. Gentleman's time has expired.
I see the gentleman an additional minute.
I appreciate that very much.
I
thank my good friend for yielding. And
1 minute.
Peng Peiyong told me over and over again, there is no coercion in the Chinese program, even though everyone who has followed this knows that there is, because the UNFPA was there on the ground certifying that that was the case. We are missing maybe 60 million females, women of all ages now, because it's been a systematic extermination of the girl child in China. It's one of the reasons why human trafficking has exploded in China, because they have been killed, exterminated through forced abortion. And the UNFPA has been silent on that issue, again, giving them a clean bill of health. To double the amount of money that was in previous bills, from 35 to 70 million, trivializes these crimes against women and these crimes against children. I yield back to balance.